The 49ers have made a huge move to bring back one of their most important in-house free agents, and this changes everything because now the Niners know how much money they have going forward after locking down one of their biggest free agents, and now they can know how much money they need to work on their other in-house free agents as well as other free agents on the market. And we're going to break that all down for you on this episode of Niners Digest. My name is Ethan Galbraith. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel because we've noticed 88% of you haven't done so yet. It's free to subscribe, so make sure you do so you don't miss any Niners updates because we're going to give you everything we got, including what you need to know about the Niners' first big move in free agency. Now, the new league year is still not here yet. It's rapidly approaching though, but the Niners got ahead of schedule, as I think they should, and made sure that they are bringing back their most important, I believe, most important in-house free agent, and that is kicker Eddy Piñeiro. It was announced today by Adam Schefter that Piñeiro and the 49ers reached an agreement today on a 4-year, $17 million contract that includes $10 million guaranteed money. Now, this is huge for so many reasons, but I want to start with the fact that for those who watch the Niners in 2025, you would know that Eddy Piñeiro was arguably the biggest free agency signing from the previous league year. And he wasn't even on the initial 53-man roster. He just made an instant impact. And the word I think of when I think of Eddy Piñeiro is consistency. Well, and stability. So I guess two words. Consistency and stability to a kicker position that the Niners have not really seen either of those since Robbie Gould left. Now, I'm not going to disrespect Jake Moody because he found his footing elsewhere, but it was clear that Jake Moody wasn't getting it done in San Francisco. So in true Niners fashion, they replaced a player who they used a top three round draft pick on, and they got a guy in the middle of the season. That's just kind of how it works sometimes. But that's not a knock on Piñeiro either, of course, because the man was lights out this past season. He went 25 of 26. Which is just ridiculous. And for those who are wondering what the one miss was, it was the 64-yard attempt in Indianapolis in December. So I'd like to think he was pretty consistent. So Piñeiro got the job done. There's no denying that. But other teams saw that as well. So I think that's all the more reason why it was so important that the Niners got this deal done before other teams could kind of swoop in and try to lure Piñeiro away because he had a great season. Everybody saw that he was going to get money regardless, whether it was from the Niners or whether it was from another team. So the Niners getting this done before the new league year kicks off and the free agency period officially begins is huge. And I think that also shows that they're not messing around. There's been rumors about who the Niners might go and get. I just made a video about the rumors of the Niners being interested in potential free agent wide receiver Romeo Doubs. We've been tracking other rumors as well, but the Niners actually do something concrete, which I think is good for two reasons. One, it ensures you keep your biggest in-house free agent, in my opinion, and it shows that the Niners aren't just sitting around doing nothing. The Rams have made a trade to bring in Trent McDuffie. They're making moves to win now. We're waiting to see what the Seahawks and Cardinals do, but the Niners aren't messing around either. They're bringing back one of their most consistent pieces from 2025, and I think it's an indicator that they are assessing talent for their in-house free agents. Now, what does that mean about the other in-house free agents, namely Jauan Jennings? Well, it's looking more and more likely that he will not be returning to San Francisco, and the signing of Piñeiro before the offseason period, the free agency period begins, I think further points to that because if they wanted to get the deal done or if they could get the deal done, it probably would have gotten done already. But only time will tell. We're not talking about Jauan Jennings here. We're talking about Eddy Piñeiro because I think I can read you 25 of 26 or 28 of 29. Sorry. 28 of 29. That's what it was. I can read you that, but it also shows how big of an impact he had on a team level because here is the 2025 Special Teams EPA, where the Niners finished second, only behind the Seahawks, Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks, and the Niners are right there behind them. Now, this is huge, and for those who watch 2025 49ers football, you would know the special team was great, but it's one thing to see this team's special teams unit this past year, but you also have to understand how far they've come, because this is where they were in 2024, dead last. So, obviously, this is not just Eddy Piñeiro's magic. This is Thomas Morstead. This is John Weeks. This is the new special teams staff that came in last offseason. But it's no secret that Piñeiro had a huge had a lot to do, had a huge impact on what that number shift, why that number shifted the way that it did. And it's you just got to look at his numbers here. This is also to add that Piñeiro didn't even play every single game. Like I said, he was picked up during the season. He even missed time himself because of an injury, and yet the Niners still finished top 10 in field goal percentage with 33 makes total, 28 of those, of course, going to Piñeiro. So the special teams unit was great. And the thing about the special teams unit usually with football is unless it's historically great, you don't always see the highlights, but you know they're doing well because they're not doing anything bad. And that was overall the Niners' impact on special teams this past year. They had some great highlights as well, of course. Eddy Piñeiro famously had multiple clutch kicks. His first home game with the Cardinals was a game-winning walk-off field goal. So no denying that he's had an impact, and Piñeiro is excited to be back. He posted on Instagram today talking about the contract extension, and in part of that caption, he wrote, quote, "I'm incredibly thankful to the coaches and the entire organization for believing in me and trusting me to continue this journey with you. Signing this contract means the world to me and my family." So he's hungry to be back. He's excited to be back, but he's hungry to get better. And I don't know how much better you can get from 28 of 29. I mean, theoretically 29 of 29, but it shows that he's not satisfied with this. He is ready to get back to work. He's grateful for the opportunity because, again, the man was a free agent before the Niners picked him up. He's counting his blessings. He's grateful for this, and he's not going to take this for granted. I'm so excited to have this type of player, this impact player who's already been proven to be an impact player on this roster again for 2026 because, again, there's going to be a lot of moving parts this offseason, especially with some notable in-house free agents like Jauan Jennings, Kendrick Bourne, Sky Moore, who is a receiver but was also a crucial returner and part of that special teams unit shift. There's going to be a lot of moving parts this offseason. And the fact that Eddy Piñeiro is not going to be one of them is a huge deal. So with Eddy Piñeiro locked down and ready to go for 2026 and beyond, now the question shifts to what does this mean for the rest of the in-house free agents? I talked about Jauan Jennings a little bit. I think of punter Thomas Morstead. The Niners have now locked down Piñeiro and long snapper John Weeks. Is Morstead coming back? Do they have an alternative? He is going to be 40, so I understand the hesitancy to bring him back, but he played well. He was a great punter. He famously did not punt for a long stretch of the season because the Niners didn't need him to punt, but I think he was still a big part of that turnaround for the special teams unit. So we're waiting for the next domino to fall, which is, are the Niners going to bring Thomas Morstead back, or do they have an alternative punter in mind to replace him? But we'll keep you updated on all of that. But my final thoughts are this. This is a great first step in the right direction. This isn't the end-all, be-all. The Niners need to keep making more moves at other positions, namely the offensive line and wide receiver. But the reason why this contract wasn't really an issue was because it was understood that the Niners needed to bring him back, Eddy Piñeiro back. So that is done. There's no stress about it. There's no worry about other teams coming in and offering him more money. This is set in stone, and we are ready to rock for 2026 and beyond. So we'll keep you updated on all the rest, what the Niners choose to do with other notable in-house free agents, and where do they put the rest of the money? Do they use it on their in-house free agents? Do they prioritize them, or do they look elsewhere for other players on the market? But for now, that's all for this episode of Niners Digest. Thank you again so much for watching. My name is Ethan Galbraith, and we will see you in the next video.